Don't tap your podium. Good evening, everybody. This is the Morris Plains Community Band. We are an all-volunteer community band. We have people who are teenagers. We have people who are in their 80s playing tonight. We're going to put on a show tonight that we call Music from Around the World. Those of you that are looking for Larry Ripley, he is not here tonight because he is homesick. Nothing big. He's just not feeling well, so he'll be at our next performance and probably at our next practice. So I'm Mike Lohman. I'm the president of the band. That's Joe Antichino. Did I get that right, Joe? Got it. Okay, Joe Antichino, he's going to be our conductor for this evening. As with all of our shows, we start with the Star Spangled Banner. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Star Spangled Banner before we start. The lyrics, as everyone knows, were written by Francis Scott Key in 1814 during the War of 1812. He was in Baltimore trying to rescue an American prisoner off of a British man of war, and he was watching Fort McHenry get bombed. He wrote a poem called The Defense of Fort McHenry, which was subsequently put to music, written by a Brit by the name of John Stafford Smith. And that was a tune that was, I think it was a kind of a drinking tune. I'm not 100% sure of that, but that's kind of what I think it was. Anyway, it became our national anthem in 1931 by an act of Congress. The Star Spangled Banner, the flag itself, had 15 stars and 15 stripes. After that, they did away with the 15 stripes and went back to 13 stripes. Can anybody tell me what the 14th and 15th states were? You get a prize if you get it right. All right? Nobody wants to take a chance? 14 was Vermont, 15 was Kentucky. And there you go. And without any further ado, Joe, take it away. That was really well done. That was good. All right, our next number, first number of the night, is called Amparita Roca. It is a Spanish infantry march written in 1925 by Jaime Textadoro. And a couple other little things associated with it. Bullfighting, they use this kind of a song for bullfighting when the bullfighters come in, the matadors come in. And it is written in what they call peso double, which means double time, 120 beats per minute. And you'll see that with the first part of this as they come charging out of the gate on this song. Next up, we have a French chorus line dance called can-can. I'm sure everybody is familiar with the ShopRite commercials for can-can. But it started off as a French chorus line dance. Of course, the chorus line was known for their scantily clad dancers at the Moulin Rouge. It was also made into a Cole Porter Broadway production and also a movie based upon the Broadway show. So here we go, Can-Can. I was expecting some of you to get up and dance in the aisles. I'm a little disappointed. That's a good tune. You guys ready over there? Trumpets, ready? Everybody's ready? Okay, all right. Our next tune is Colonel Bogey March. It is written by a British naval, or a British officer, Lieutenant Kenneth Alford, but that's not his real name. His real name is F.J. Ricketts, and in the British Army, if you wrote a song, they owned it. So that's why he wrote it under his different name, so that he didn't have to give the royalties to the British Army. He was a British Army bandmaster. Anyway, this particular song was made famous in the Bridge on the River Kwai movie, which everybody knows. It was also used in numerous movies and TV shows, including The Simpsons, which I didn't know, but now you know. Anyway, so here we go. Right, 1914 is when it was written. 1957 was when it was in the Bridge on the River Kwai. So take it away, Joe. That's one of my favorite tunes that we play. It never gets old. It's a good song. Good song. All right, next up, we're going to play a song written by Julius Fusik, who was a soldier in the Austro-Hungary army. He wrote it in 1897. It is a military march, but it has gained fame mostly as a circus tune. While you're listening to this song, you're going to be hearing a lot of chromatic runs, where the horns in particular are going to be running up and down through all kinds of different little runs. So listen for that. It's a pretty cool part of the tune. And he was known as the Bohemian Sousa. So there you go. Good job by the lower brass there. Being a lower brass player, I really like that. Trombones, baritone, French horns, and tuba. Good job. Good job. All right, our next tune is called Green Sleeves when we play it this time of the year. When we play it at Christmas time, it's called What Child Is This? Same song. It's a traditional English folk song. It goes back to 1580, so it's been around for a long time, and it's just a great little tune. So there you go. Next up is a tune written by Leonard Cohen, a Canadian composer, poet, writer, musician, had hundreds of different things that he wrote. He wrote this song in 1984. It's called Hallelujah. It was made famous in the movie Shrek in 2001. And this song has been covered by over 200 artists of various stripes since it was written. So it's a very nice tune. Okay, it's time for everybody to wake up. In the Hall of the Mountain King was written 1875 by Edvard Grieg, who was a Norwegian. It was part of the Peer Gynt play written by Heinrich Ibsen. The scene where In the Hall of the Mountain King actually is played is when Peer Gynt appears in the hall of, and I'm going to butcher this, Dubelguben, who is the king, and in that hall he meets Dubelguben and his trolls, goblins, and other gnomes and so forth, who all want to kill him. So there you have that. That's the setting. It's a very popular tune. It's been in an awful lot of movies. It's also interesting to note that some modern bands, rock and roll bands, have covered this song. The Who, the Electric Light Orchestra have played it. Inspector Gadget has it as part of the theme from Inspector Gadget, and Sonic the Hedgehog also has used it as part of their musical, whatever, repertoire. And so there you go, In the Hall of the Mountain King, and again, this is one of those really heavy lower brass songs, and I love it. Our next tune is a traditional Irish tune, folk tune. It's got lots of names. It's Irish tune from County Derry. It's the Londonderry Air. It's also known as Danny Boy. The lyrics were written by Frederick Wheatley in 1912, and it's been recorded a million times by various artists. Done properly, this song can bring tears to your eyes. Recently, my wife and I, we went to Ireland, and we visited the grave of my great-grandmother, Bridget Taylor. And I thought of Danny Boy because her son, Thomas, my grandfather, left Ireland and never returned. And so it sort of does bring it home a little bit. So there we go. Our next number is from Austria. And I don't know if you've noticed, we've had American, English, Spanish, German, French, English, Czechoslovakian, that was entry to Gladiators, English, Canadian, Norwegian, Irish, and now Austrian music. So you're getting the full gamut here. This one is called Radetzky March. There really was a guy named Radetzky. He was a field marshal in the Austrian army, and he had won the battle against the Italian forces at the Battle of Custoza during the First Italian War for Independence. It's performed on the first of the year by the Vienna Philharmonic every year. This is a song where you can clap your hands, and in some places you clap a little bit, in some places you clap a lot, but it's a great tune, and you'll enjoy it. Every time I hear that song, I want to go out and have a beer. All right, the next up is a Russian song by Dmitri Shostakovich, who lived from 1906 to 1975. He was a prolific composer during the Soviet Union period in Russia, and he was very frequently in and out, depending upon who was in charge in Russia. Anyway, this is called Waltz Number 2. The clarinets love this song. The lower brass hates this song. And there you go. Next up, William Tell Overture. It's an interesting combination. It was written for a French opera, the William Tell Opera, by an Italian composer, Rossini. It's set in Switzerland, and Switzerland is being oppressed by Austria at that time. So there's a lot of international stuff going on in this one tune. Rossini wrote 39 operas during his lifetime. He lived from 1792 to 1868. William Tell is actually a real person, from what I'm told. Legendary folk hero for Switzerland. The guy who shot the arrow off of his son's head, that's the guy. Anyway, so most of us will know this song from The Lone Ranger. I am told that an intellectual is someone who hears with a William Tell overture and doesn't think of The Lone Ranger. So I don't know that there's any of those people around anymore. But this song has been done by Daffy Duck and Porky Pig in a cartoon, Bugs Bunny, Overture to Disaster. I mean, it's been recorded a million times. I'm going to give you the standard. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear, when from out of the past comes the thundering hoofbeats of a great white horse. On this fiery steed, with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-ho silver, the Lone Ranger rides again. So we are getting near the end of our performance tonight. I would just like to remind everybody that the Morris Plains Community Band is a nonprofit organization and gratefully accepts any donations that you may see fit. We will accept checks. We will accept cash. Can't do a credit card, but we can do cash or checks. And it goes to a good cause because it helps us buy songs, it helps us buy equipment, and keeps everything afloat. As we do at every concert, we are going to do the Armed Forces medley, where we recognize each branch of the Armed Forces. Some of our members are members of, or former members of the Armed Forces. If you are a member of the Armed Forces or a former member of the Armed Forces, please stand and be recognized during your particular song. We do the Army, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, the Navy, and the Marine Corps in that order. So there you go. And take it away, Joe. Before we continue on, stand up, John. I'd like to recognize John here. John Logan, he plays trumpet for us. He also is part of an organization that plays taps at military funerals. John, how many funerals have you done?
398.
398 volunteer time for military funerals. Good job. Last tune of the night, which we always end with this, is Stars and Stripes Forever. Stars and Stripes Forever was composed by John Philip Sousa, also known as the March King. It was composed in 1896. It became the official United States March in 1987. Just a little bit about Sousa. He was in both the Marine Corps band and also a Navy band. I didn't know that about him. He spent some time in the Navy as a musician or as a band leader. He wrote over 130 marches, 15 operettas, 5 overtures, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Stars and Stripes Forever, John Philip Sousa to close out tonight. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you had a good evening. And I would really like to thank Joe because he did a great job on short notice. Listen for the piccolos on this. ladies and gentlemen, the Morris Plains Community Band. Take a bow. Thank you very much and have a safe ride home.